have a question actually about the designing for the Chinese market or Chinese speaking market, because I noticed as we talked about the games as well, that the interface design and complexity is different for Chinese consumers, and it's much more dense and so much going on. And I'm curious about your thoughts around designing game loops or gamification in general for Chinese audience.
This is a bit off topic, but feel free to, everyone can throw in some questions. One of my favorite ad commercials or banner ads is from like a milk store in Taiwan, and the banner says, "Because of you, we raised a whole bunch of cattle." And it's like, oh, so you did it all for me. You went through all the trouble of raising the cattle for me. Of course I have to drink the milk, because or else you've done it for no reason. You know, that's also that CD4, like, oh, it customized. They did all this work for me. They customized for me. And it just made me happier compared to all the other ones, like the premium milk brand, or we got it from New Zealand or something like that. It's like, I don't care. But, oh, you did it for me. Okay, maybe I care a little bit. Even though I know it's obviously just marketing. Maria says, making players feel special might also foster the concept of reciprocity and encourages to invest more time. Yeah, everything is also in the sense that I think when in doubt, transparency is also kind of good, because if you're a big system, people will share that, hey, this is, at least they'll be suspicious, I'll confirm this is what happens. And some people might feel like, oh, you're not transparent, or it's tricky or whatnot. So there is another, you know, sometimes people are okay with it. They're used to, like, yeah, if you come back, just give me a special gift. That's fine, even if you don't tell me. But, you know, I guess all else being equal, transparency sometimes is a little better. Some cultures are, they're fine with complexity and they're more detail oriented. So, and I usually like, you know, talking about these topics sometimes very sensitive. You got to talk about opinions of a whole body of people. But I'd say, like, there's a spectrum of, let's say, people from Scandinavia, from my own personal experience, you know, very open and like more big strokes, like for example, my co-founder is Dutch, yours Beerda, and the Dutch people I've behave in a way that's just more like not nitty gritty, like, oh yeah, this big picture is good, let's just move forward, let's just trust the thing. And then there's some cultures, so they're more bargain oriented. They want to go through every nitty gritty detail and discuss that. One example actually that had a lot of business impact was in the US. There's a rebate kind of design system where a company would sell a product and says, hey, this product, you spend $100 to buy it, but afterwards you mail this little piece of paper to a place and we'll give you $20 back. So you're really buying for $80. This is only $80. And so what happens with Americans is Americans are pretty lazy. So they'll say, yeah, this thing's only $80, and they buy it. And then they just kind of get lazy and they don't mail the thing. So they thought they bought for $80, but they bought it for $100, and companies made money. But then I remember there's a case study of a company that did that a lot, and they try to go into the Japan market, and they lost a ton of money because every Japanese person mailed it back very diligently. And so that didn't work well for that culture, because, and for the Japanese, it's interesting because Japanese is more of a sense of epic meaning and calling, and the sense of responsibility. You know, CD4, like, they feel like if they should do something, they should do it. They have to do it. So some people say it's also a little bit of a black hat culture. Everyone feels stressed about their responsibility and their role in society, but it does affect that. Now, there are, when I designed for the Indian market, also they are really, really good at figuring out all the game rules and figuring out what's the best way to optimize. You know, some systems for Western audience could be too complex, and there's so many little nitty-gritty details, and people might feel overwhelmed. Generally, as long as it's incentive to be gained, A lot of the people in the Indian culture, they see it as a game. They see it as a CD3 thing. Like they're going to find all the rules and figure out the best ways to play the game and do it and get the ultimate score and payout. So for the Chinese market, like you said, they're very much driven by CD4, 5, well, 5, 2, but in this example, it's 4, 6, and 7, in the sense that they're very good at chasing after incentives and benefits, and also a chance of winning. There's more of a revolutionary culture. So I'm from Taiwan. When I was born, I lived, I guess when I was small, I was in Taiwan. Taiwanese, even though we're Chinese speaking, like there's so the countries there's China, Taiwan, Hong Kong, not a country, Singapore. I think it's those 4, right? Those 4 main places speak Chinese. Yeah. And now the unique thing about China's a whole different beast for multiple reasons, but the biggest reason is because they went through something called Cultural Revolution. And it's like they eradicated all history, all culture, and they flip things upside down. All the religions are thrown away. And it was this big communist movement. And at the time they said teachers were terrible people. It was the farmers who carry society. It's a communist movement, right? So people stone teachers to death. And that phase went by, and communism generally leads to group poverty. And then there's a period of this guy, Deng Xiaoping, being the leader, saying that, it's glorious to be profitable and make money. And so you thought that was the end of the video? Well, try again. Believe it or not, there's actually more amazing content coming after this. Check it out.